Hello. It's time for the second, I guess, art stream. Continuing this experiment. And, well, whether or not these continue in the long term, I guess depends on if I can figure out what to draw on a consistent basis. I've been working through a list of things I intended to draw. So for at least like a week now, I've had like a consistent set of things. But I guess I'm gonna be doing probably one or two of those. I've been drawing little mem cake type versions of all the characters you see on this screen here. And moving along the list I have set for myself, we're down to some of the weird ones. There's like ghosts, craftly, and blood of the characters on this screen, meaning the tiny hamster in the corner that pops up occasionally, the ghost in the background, and the amalgamation in the upper corner there. So this will be interesting, maybe. But as for, well, Saren here, the Octoling, has several of the mem cakes on her head already. Several of her mem cakes, of which I will eventually narrow down to one of them for display purposes, I guess. But, over here, I've lined up all the ones that I've completed in recent times down here on the screen as well, for reference. Also, I have a weird frog. I clicked the frog. So, also, if you weren't aware, this is Spirit City, the game that I have been using to help me do stuff with like a to-do list, and a timer, and a habit tracker, and so on. It's a relaxing experience, and last time the half that, half art stream went pretty well. So, let's try it again. This may or may not be a relatively quiet stream, but you can chill here in this chill atmosphere, looking at a frog and looking at me drawing stuff, if you would like. I guess I will play along and set the Pomodoro timer again as well. Remember to take breaks, after all. So, Sucro for scale again, as per usual. It's tradition for me at this point. But next on the list is ghosts. So, over here we got ghosts. Hello, ghosts. So I begin. Just gotta get used to, drawing things over on this side of the tablet again. Wonder if I should consider getting a new tablet at any point. I'm using... Man, I don't even remember what this thing is called, but I've had it for a bit now. And, it's a tablet where you're not drawing directly on the tablet. You are drawing on... You're using the tablet as an interface to draw on the computer screen. So the tablet itself, I'm not, like, using a touch screen on it, exactly. And I wonder how it would be to instead use one that you just draw on the tablet, which seems to be the more common approach, preferred, I would guess, of many. I have no evidence or data to back this up. I've also noticed that as I've been drawing these, I have, it's just, I feel like just any input method for drawing is something you can get used to eventually, right? This is the same layer. Oops. Like, there are people who draw really well with the mouse, And that's baffling to me. I think one could use any sort of thing to draw, really. But yeah, also something I've been noticing as I've been drawing these. It seems like the amount of time it takes for me to draw them has been like... I've been speeding up, so the amount of time has been decreasing. And I'm not sure if that's just because I tend to be getting towards like the simpler designs amongst these, or if I am also just gaining practice points, experience, drawing EXP, power, that sort of stat. Some combination of all of those could also be possible. It is merely an observation. How do I want to do this part? I think they'll be on the same layer, actually. Well, yeah, Knowing Way, like originally on the intermission screens and whatnot, is simply a loporrit. And what I did essentially was just change the color palette to match like a scholar color palette sort of situation. And also I added glasses and a funny little hat. So Knowing Way is... like, my goal with that design was, if there are unique loporrits and whatnot in Final Fantasy XIV, like there are a couple, they aren't super distinct, but they are like a little distinct. They usually have different color palettes. See also many other examples of creature type in that game. Yeah, it's fine. So I limited it to color palette and a hat, basically. Because that seemed accurate to how the game would design a unique loporrit. Although maybe the hat and glasses are more than they would have done. But yeah, that was the general idea anyway. Ghost, though. Ghost is a pretty simple design, all things considered. So Ghost will probably be a pretty quick one. Like... the difficult part of the Ghost design was like getting the Hamtaro essence. And now I have to combine that essence with the memcake essence, if you will. This is a vibes-based design, essentially, is what I'm saying. So I'm being a little perfectionist with the hair shape, I guess. But at the same time, often going, that's probably good enough. Oop. With the memcake stuff in particular, a lot of things do end up being good enough, because like the final step of the process really just sort of finalizing the style in the way that it does makes whatever I have work pretty well. And like, I wouldn't say this is entirely a Mimcake style either. Like, there's probably my own twist on it. So it's interesting, like, just working on stuff and exploring how I can make everything work. Like, in this case, normally there's not really space between the pink part of Ghost's ear and the outside, except like in a line. So adapting that by just having it not take up the entire gray part. That sort of thing, I guess, is what I'm talking about, maybe? Maybe. I may or may not know what I'm talking about. And gotta do the face. I'm wondering if like the eye shine that is part of a Hamtaro type design will work here, or if I'm just going to end up simplifying more. I think it should probably work. Or some sort of equivalent. I feel like it's required for the essence of the character. It seems like it works well enough. It feels vaguely pretentious to say something like, this feels required for the essence of the character. But, like, I think that's just true in this case. I should also, like, probably save files more often. Just so I don't accidentally... You know, ghosts. This is ghosts. Yep, it's pretty much fine. I guess, like, normally... Normally there's a bit more of, like, her face below her mouth, actually. But I feel like this still works pretty well. I think this is fine, actually. Of the characters I have, I feel like Ghost is maybe one of the ones who doesn't need to worry about being on model as much. She can just do cartoon things. It looks a little bit like modern Thin Hamtaro. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I have seen modern Thin Hamtaro a little bit. And I think modern Thin Hamtaro is a bit of a crime. Like, looking at your little comparison picture, it looks like they just took the lower half of Hamtaro and, like, pinched it in. And that's why he's going, ah! A little bit. As well. Don't do this to Hamtaro. They also did this to Pikachu. Oh, they did that to Chopper too? I had no idea about that one. Oh. Okay. Not the image you linked, but like the full source of it, I guess. I think it works better for Chopper, but like the Pikachu is kind of, I think Hamtaro suffers the most from this. Personally. Yeah, that's the impression it gives me too. Hello, welcome. Yeah, Ghost is gonna be one of the simpler ones here on this list. Yeah. Definitely similar to that. Actually, one of the most consistently difficult parts of Ghosts for me in the past has been like making this the squiggly ghost tail feel correct. Like, it's a weird sort of shape. No. Having a background for contrast might make this easier, though. Maybe starting from over here. That's better. I think this is better. This is correct. And then the little shadow under the eyes, I feel like, isn't important enough detail to include here. Or attempt to include. Yep. Also, since ghosts is a relatively simple design, I could say I was done, but I wanted to add one more other thing. Which is... well, actually... what happens if I do this? Does this show? No, okay. It does not show me opening files. That's fine. Possibly even good. Why not include Ghost's famous trick? So I can condense all of this down. Probably. Now these aren't going to be necessarily super clear what they are. I'm not going to be able to like write text on them or anything. It'll be clear enough, just based on the shapes. Or maybe I will be able to write text on them, I don't know. This is not the way I expected to go about drawing these. With the way I'm doing layers right now. Sometimes I improvise. But I guess this works. That's almost legible. It's a little further to the left. I think that's even more almost legible. Yep. And now it's less because I always make things fuzzier as part of the process. But that's funny. So it's fine. But we can't forget that. Can't only be this. That timer ticking down to mandatory break time when I'm so close to finished. This is one of the reasons the timer is difficult for me. Mandatory break time. But that means finish my task. I was writing this. This is that. Come on. That is this? It's an important distinction. And that's probably ghosts. So, before the finalization, go over here. Wait, I only set it to 125-minute session. That's fine, I'll be right back anyway. Okay, I'm here again. Hello. I guess this does mean that I only took 25 minutes to draw this. And like, Ghost is a little bit less complicated, but it's still something, perhaps. So, just make these more evenly sized. That's my computer overwriting the thing. And now the finalization step. I haven't started the timer again yet, and I know that, just for the record. So, paint.net. Effects. Add noise. 25. 0, 100. Effects object outline. Angled. -30 to -45 degrees. Width 5. Softness 250. Adjust color. Yep, that'll do. And now, to reload the file in here. And there's Ghosts. Hooray. And put her there too. Now then. Oh, first of all, we have a funny new spirit to observe in the spirit video game. It's a bat. A funny bat is here. X-Wing. Your wings are adorned with magical runes. They detect magical energy. They love to help witches brew magical elixirs. And they love Halloween. Oop, wrong menu. This game is adorable, by the way. There's so many good creatures in it. There's Gamer Monkey. There's Music Hamster. There's Boba Tadpoles. There's Wax Axolotl, who's being cut off by the format. There's a voodoo ghost. There's a little ink creature, and so on. Let's take a look at the bat, though. What colors does the bat have? And does the bat have any animations? They may not, and that's fine. Still a good bat. They probably have... They sleep floating upside down. That's pretty good. And they can meditate. I think they're gonna add more animations to stuff at some later point. Generally. but still good. So we have a bat friend here now. And well, next on the to-do list, we have Craftly or Blood or, yep, Trans Pride Socks. Or we have my Warframe character, who I don't actually have a good reference image of at the moment. Speaking of the Pride stuff, there's a lot of different options for Pride stuff, which I'll show briefly. Like, in Socks alone, there's like multiple Trans Pride. There's Ace. There's lots of other stuff. There's a good selection. It's nice to see. And also, another good example of this over here, the mugs. There are many. Hello, welcome. Oh, you've started using this too? I hope it is helping you as well. Or it at least is pleasant. I'm glad. I'm glad to have shared a software in a way that encouraged you to try using it and that it might help you. We've drawn ghosts today, so remaining we have some weird ones. What do you all think? Do you want to see the macaroni and cheese ghastly or the amalgamation of corrupted dragonite first? This will be interesting. Craftly or Blood? I don't have a poem prepared for all of these either. Okay, we have a vote for both of them. Well. Alright. I guess Craftly is in the order I have set out here, so we'll do Craftly. So, first of all, I don't even remember why Craftly exists. I don't remember the joke that led to this. I do know I like lazily put a ghastly face on a image of a box of macaroni and cheese before I drew this. I have to assume it was during some sort of Pokemon related occurrence. I suppose I could also mention that I do have an accompanying Mimcake poem for all of these bar ghosts right now, and I already have one for Craftly as well. So, I think it was probably during the bootleg of Pokemon Green being randomized. That's probably true. But yeah, I do have Mimcake poems for all of these. I suppose I could share those or find some way to make them viewable elsewhere. So they are on social media and whatnot. It's fun to try and write those. Through Cali. That could work. You know where Craftly comes from? Let me try something.
This is a test of Calico talking.
Hello, Calico. I guess I can just paste poems into here.
To quote Robin's tweet from 2023, this happened because I said not to post creepypasta when I had to step away in Lavender Town. I said it was a pasta-free zone. And I was thinking about throwing a ghastly on top of some pasta in an image editor when I got back anyway, but chat said macaroni and ghost cheese, so...
Yeah, okay, that tracks. So let's see. I think most of these Memcake poems were not shared on the previous stream of this. Calico, how do you read 3 dashes?
Dash.
Fair enough. Because I have them formatted in that way. How much can I paste into a single Calico text box? Let's just... all of it, apparently. Alright, be ready for a bunch of text to speech while I begin figuring this out on the side.
Vi, on Jester's day, an entrance grand. Then exit swift, cast to the rift, by gun and haiku she was banned. Capri, stride boldly to the dark god's lair, what noble steed befits this deed? Of course, the flying gamer chair. Jackie, her smile hides a blade as keen, you fight in vain. Be cleft and wane, bamboozled by her vacant mien. Mystery, where is she from? What can she do? I do not know, but on this show, she mostly makes a cat turn blue. Craftly, a pasta box that's left to rot becomes a host for crafty ghosts, at least those who like she's a lot. Knowing way, every date and all of the names, history's not a mystery when knowing is your single aim.
There you go. Here's a bunch of poetry. Read more or less according to the rhythm. Thank you for petting Calico. So I'll need to make one for ghosts. And I'm glad you like them. Alright, so, speaking of different ghosts... thank you for petting Calico. I don't know why I insist on always using sucro for scale, especially now that I'm drawing something that is not shaped like a human. But, well, I've learned of a functionality that I didn't know this program had. Hold on. I popped out the window. That's weird. Scary. I only wanted to reorder. There we go. So, I have to figure out how to do this now. All right. Close this. Close these. Open this as a reference image on my other monitor. Toggle and begin. So, Craftly is primarily well, an amorphous ball of gas, I suppose, still. Dang. It's weird, it can be weirdly tricky to get an amorphous blob that is a satisfying amorphous blob, you know? So you have to, like, connect it together at the end in a way that works. That'll work, probably. Yeah, that's probably the case, I would say, for how a ghastly functions. Seems reasonable. Is Craftly more stable now that they're haunting a box of pasta, or is the box tumbling and swirling around? How likely would you say that Craftly makes source engine collision noises? That's a good question. I assume that they would were the box to collide with something. But like otherwise, I don't think they're constantly making the collision sound effects midair. That's my assumption. But I think were they to be animated in a more like... Were they to be actually like animated in a three-dimensional sort of manner, I don't think the box is stuck like facing one direction. I think the box and the face might be able to move around semi-independently. Should Craftly desire it to be so. But there is also like a preferred direction so that the face lines up with the blue sphere on the front of the box. Or something. Craftly has to preserve its artistic integrity by making sure that it's possessing things in the correct direction most of the time. This might also be a relatively simple one, all things considered. As of right now, this is just a haunted rectangle. Which is probably something you can raise in Monster Rancher if you would like to. I do think I want to play more Monster Rancher still on stream. If you're not aware about Monster Rancher and rectangles, there is a type of creature called a monol, which is just a rectangle. Well, it's a rectangle that can manifest a face and limbs from itself. So it's not just a rectangle, but it's still quite funny. Let me see, actually. Do I have a saved image of the Game Boy Advance monol sprite? Because it's possibly the funniest sprite on the Game Boy Advance. To me. If not, I can go retrieve one. I don't, but I do have a GIF of a monol showing that monols are strange creatures. Please perceive this for a moment. While I retrieve something. Apologies to Monster Fenric. I'm using the fan wiki to grab a PNG of a GBA monol. I did bookmark his website, Legend Cup. Alright, so you've seen a model in 3D animate to eat something. Here is the sprite from Monster Rancher Advance 2 of the idle frame of a regular model facing forward. Yup, that's it. That's all that it is. I think this is the funniest sprite on the Game Boy Advance. And also, like, inspired in a way, honestly. I don't remember how they look animated on the GBA, but I'd assume that they just sort of float up and down for their idle pose. Yeah, the 3D animation does look kind of glitch-like, for sure. Oh, I never closed the to-do list. Alright, back to Craftly, who is also a rectangle. So this tangent was relevant. This is definitely like a strange thing to be compressing into this size and style, probably. Like, I don't think I would have anticipated that I would be drawing a Kraft macaroni and cheese box at a 128 by 128 resolution anytime soon. Like, at most points in my life, I wouldn't have considered this. A haunted one at that. I feel like these sort of vague details indicating that there's macaroni shapes are still important to include here, so they can be even more vague. That's probably fine. And now this part. Something that can be difficult to remember is that, like, at least based on my original art of Craftly here, I'm kind of assuming that this is the case. The actual circle part of Ghastly itself is relatively small, because, like, the eyes extend out of it, and then the gas around is, like, the main part of the body. So I actually have to, like, do a double take when I realize that this is meant to be a small circle, you know? Relatively, anyway. Oop. Oh, I was highlighting the wrong things. selecting the wrong layer. I do think I will actually have to use a little bit of outlining for the eyes and mouth. Yeah, I forgot. Sometimes I forget the small details, like how this says macaroni and cheese sinner instead of dinner on it. It took me until now to like notice that I did that in the past. I'd forgotten. Also, smile, it's ghost, but that's more normal for me to write. Okay, sinner. Putting sinner instead of dinner is also pretty normal for me because I'm silly like that. But, on occasion, you need the outlines. Even in the style where you don't typically. I think this is workable. Yeah. Like, Ghastly's eyes, the emphasis on their shape is really important. So the outlines are required, in my opinion. I think those are a bit small. I think I'll also outline the mouth. That one I might be able to get away with flat color for, on account of the colors it's contrasting against, but at the same time. I don't need to outline all the details of the mouth necessarily. Maybe the teeth. This doesn't quite look right. That's better. I think that's fine. I think the eyes actually need to be closer together, or wider? Move this one over. Wait. Where did I put the white set part of the eyes? There it is. This one needs to be further over. That was the main thing. That's more like it, I think. I think that's better. And maybe also move the other one a little bit. I don't know if I actually moved it, but I think this is closer to correct. All right. Now we compress all of the details into something that is at least resembling their shape. The logo is there. There's no room to write on it. It already looks like it's written on because of the eye detailing. This is a little inaccurate, but there's a little bit of yellow there. There's the yellow here. And the white here that says sinner. Actually using this feature of the program. This says original. And then there's the smile it's ghost text, I guess. The aim is not legibility here. The aim is like, it's clear that there's something there. That like resembles what it's supposed to say. I think that's basically craftly. I think I want to adjust the eyes a little bit more. Yeah, that wasn't too bad either. I think that's it. Basically. Well, hold on. I'm gonna do one more thing here. Little bit of detail. Just like a faint sort of drop shadow on the box part. I think might work. Yeah, there we go. Serves to emphasize it a little bit. Overwriting noise. Now, in the paint.net realm, where the filters live. I accidentally saved this in the wrong folder. Hold on. There we go. Apply the noise. Not the one from the Pizza Tower game. Do not apply that noise ever. Never apply the noise or the noid. Saying the Pizza Tower game like I'm Nintendo material that always refers to everything that way. Computer noises that are mandatory for the process. And... oh, right, because I moved it. That makes sense. And there's Craftly. Didn't even get to the break point. That's sort of like the ideal for all of these, I think. They should all look like you can pick them up. This has a bit... maybe it's just like... I think it might just be the way the shapes are arranged, the like edges of them. The angled outline is more emphasized. Well, that's Craftly then. All right, and then, well, I guess that means blood is next. That's funny. So. Opening Sucro for scale for this one feels even less necessary. Or even less reasonable. The people cry out for blood.
Blood.
Yes, correct. Okay, now this is gonna be an interesting one. Welcome to Awake. Blood is, it's time for blood. You have an idea, huh? Let me know what your idea is. I'm curious. But also, in the meantime, let me show you one of my favorite spirit animations in this game. Draw a regular Dragonite and then shuffle the pieces up. Like a reverse jigsaw puzzle. I'm not sure if that would be more or less difficult. Actually, for me. First of all the color options in this game are pretty good. There's a lot of rainbow options too. But I think my favorite animation here is the inkster. When you are writing, they also write. They look so happy to do this. And then they dip the quill in their ink pot and they look happier. This game is adorable, is what I'm saying. I love them. I don't believe I have a creature that is attached to art as of right now. And there's only one creature left currently in the game. I don't think there's something that draws when I draw. Probably. There's a funny reading bug. There's a teapot. There's a trash tanuki. Hello, I love you too. Welcome. Let's also show off the gamer monkey, who has Famicom colors and Super Famicom colors and GameCube colors, which is fun. They're called 8-bit. The lore actually is that they are allegedly a digital spirit brought into the physical realm by the gaming corporation, but nobody knows if this is true. Now, if you're gaming, though, the gaming monkey gets into it. I still don't comprehend this match 3 puzzle game played with mouse and keyboard, and the motions don't even like line up with anything. This is nonsense to me. But yeah, you can also see like they are the mascot of the gaming company and all that. Let's see, what spirit do we want? This is the break, is looking at this game. There's a lot of good ones. Does anyone have a request? There are many. Mouse movement is just stimming. You know what? That's fair. Who would be best suited to contain blood if they were to escape the mem cake? I'll show all of them a little bit. I don't know if there are any that... Well, I guess I would describe this frog as fairy type. But Isa said the spider, so we should have the spider on screen. You've reconstructed blood into a Dragonite. You mean like... I don't know, that sounds pretty normal. Let's behold a spider. The spider is good. The spider gaming with 4 Game Boys is fantastic. Yeah, that does seem like you've done that thing that you said you did. I guess your idea of drawing the Dragonite Sprite from Green normal style and then shuffling it around could work pretty well. Yeah, Arachnid playing 4 Game Boys is pretty great. I forget, do you have a knitting interaction? No. Well, you sit next to knitting supplies. Yeah, I feel like either direction, like drawing a mem cake of a regular Dragonite and then shuffling it, or attempting to construct a mem cake out of this. I think both of those have merit as concepts. Also, let's change up some of the atmosphere a bit. Why not? I want the spider to be visible, though. Yeah, there we go. Sure. This program here is it's called Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. It allows you to do a lot of different things. Like, it has this whole element of like decorating a room and customizing a character and collecting spirits. You make like a little cozy space for yourself. You can like adjust what your character is doing and all that. It comes with a variety of music playlists. You can also open up YouTube in it. It has a variety of like ambient noise you can mix together. It also allows you to like set up to-do lists, use a timer, have like a habit tracker situation, have a journal that you can keep track of. It's a pretty good program for just like relaxation, tracking stuff, productivity, and like good vibes, I would say. I would recommend it so far. I think that's a pretty decent summary of everything in it. All right, let's figure out blood here. Why don't we? I'm gonna attempt, I think, to draw a mim cake based on what is presented instead of scrambling a regular Dragonite, because I feel like that's an interesting challenge, maybe. So I guess I can work like a piece at a time. Like, we have this section over here. We have this wing. Like, it's clearly divided into like columns and whatnot. So. But before I do that, actually, I'm going to go over here again and be right back. Blood. Should move this so it's... I can put this somewhere on screen so it's not visible in the BRB window. But yes, blood. Shortly. All right. Time for blood, I guess. By the way, oh, I didn't realize I actually changed my character's socks to Ace by mistake. I mean, also valid sock choice, but not really her color scheme. Hold on a second. This is important. Oh, wait. Huh, weird. Well, anyway. All right. So, yeah, 7 columns of blood. Sounds like the name of a novel or something. End of statement. All right, this will be interesting. So I think what I'll do is I'll work on individual shapes and then rearrange those periodically. So we've got like something over here. I think this is like a dragonite butt, kinda. Kind of looks like a letter B at this moment. For blood. I think this is a case where I do use like the outline fragments as well. Because I think that just sort of adds to it. Sort of like a little spikety bit here. Well, that's something, right? I can draw all the rest of the colors I need from this fragment, because that's the only colors present for blood. Now, this may not end up being like a one-to-one recreation of this sprite. We may be elaborating on blood in some way, as of yet unforeseen.
We must craft our own blood.
That's true. That's a true statement, and I have nothing to add to it. I should be doing all these individual pieces on different layers. Call me bone marrow the way I'm generating blood. I guess I can't stop you from doing that. Though as a ghost, whether or not I have bones is up for debate. At best. As I'm, like, drawing the garbled shapes of this, like, Hell Dragonite, I'm realizing how often something approximating the letter B is in here. Which, as stated, does stand for blood. So, you know. Make of that what you will. This feels like I'm doing some sort of abstract art, which I guess I am. this isn't exactly 100%, like, or 0%, or whatever. This isn't a pure black color. There's a little bit of something in it. This is sort of reminding me of some of the abstract art I've done. Sometimes it's just fun to like connect shapes, you know? I feel like regardless of how different this ends up being from actual blood, it sort of has the essence of blood. Unavoidably. I think as this goes on, it might become more and more different from blood as well. Like, it's already... the path has already diverged, but the spirit remains the same. The path is already diverged, but the spirit remains the same is a completely normal thing that people say all the time. And not also like an ominous Dark Souls line of dialogue. Probably. Yeah, this is getting more abstract as time continues, I think. I suppose we can imagine that whatever the name of the, I'm gonna have to draw a memcake of this character that is on the Spirit City screen, but I don't have a name for her yet. But I guess we can imagine that at this moment she's knitting blood. I mean, the color of the fabric is pretty close. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna consolidate the current amount of blood into one layer. Sentences spoken by normal people only. A devastating martial arts technique, yeah. Here's where I begin to abstract on purpose a little bit. Sort of. Right, let's work on this strange middle section here. I guess you could argue that this is one of the most complicated designs in some sense. Actually, calling this a design might also be a bit of a stretch, though it's becoming one, I think. Oh, nice. I'm glad the show is good. I wish that Disney wasn't evil, but, well... Hold on, the game beeped at me. Ah, my spirit level. This means the final spirit Which I'm already coincidentally unlocking because I've made it snow. The final spirit is unlocking. The final spirit for now. Even if Disney canceled it, I'm glad that that show exists and that it tackled the topics that it could and that it tried to get the messages across that it did. I'm glad that they at least made that episode that got banned. That's all pretty good, I think. Now, it could be better if the episode wasn't banned, of course. But, well. I hope the show does end up meaning a lot to people. I think that would be nice. I think it's important to have stuff like that. And I think there's something a little bit funny about me saying things like that while I draw an abstract representation of a glitched out Dragonite that's like a creepypasta that came true. But hey, the world's a silly place. It's funny how things go sometimes. And now I have to take a break, mandated by the video game. So let us ponder so far what I am creating here. This is certifiably shapes, I think we can say. I think that shapes are present in this image. And I suppose we can page over to here for like a comparison's sake. We can see that it is becoming more abstract in some ways. I would say that emote is an accurate assessment, probably. Honestly, I think becoming more abstract makes this more unique and more fun as well. I think this is good. I'm enjoying adapting this to whatever I'm doing. I also have to figure out a memcake poem for blood. Is it cheating to just have like 3 lines that just say blood 8 times? That would technically fit the rhyme scheme and like the organizational. That would technically fit the structure of the poem, is the words I'm looking for. By the way, you can pet the spirit. You're right, that is underwhelming. It was just a thought more than a serious consideration. Perhaps I will spend these 5 minutes meditating on a poem. I guess meditating on a poem is actually working during the part where I'm not supposed to work, arguably. But I think I basically immediately got something. The secret about poetry is that I'm good at doing it quickly for some reason. Let me see here. Yeah, I just gotta workshop a little bit. Silently. Quietly. And by that, I mean you might be able to hear the keyboard typing. If I tried to turn this back into Dragonite after like abstracting it more, that would be fascinating. Well, I'm supposed to be on the clock now. Or working. Alright, here's my blood mem cake poem. What have we wrought? What did we do? A creature stirs and shifts and blurs. What hubris evoluted to? How's that? Evoluted being how they say evolved in the bootleg. Alright, anyway. See, this is how quickly I can write poetry sometimes. It's kind of something. Maybe I should admit that I'm good at it. Or something like that. What layer am I on? We can never really know what layer we're on with blood anymore. Is the nature of the beast. One of these days, I gotta admit I'm good at stuff. Perhaps that day is today. I did used to have compose a haiku redeem, and like, I don't feel like it's something I can guarantee being able to do on demand. Like enough to warrant that. But I do have to admit, like, that I'm good at it, I guess. Yeah, that's basically it. It's the pressure that's the problem. Wait a minute. I think I got mixed up as to where I am and what I'm doing here. Let me rearrange some stuff a little bit. Yeah. I got mixed up a little. It's basically like trying to navigate some sort of map that doesn't have any meaning. Trying to translate something like this directly. Or indirectly. Or something. Also, my organization of the layers is an absolute mess. But that's just appropriate. This kind of looks like some weird face over here. Like a cryptid is emerging from behind a glitched maple leaf or something. This is one of those like interpretive. This is like a you know, one of them tests you gotta take in old-timey psychological evaluations that aren't really done frequently. You know the ones. Rorschach tests. Or whatever. The ones where you see two bears high-fiving, but then the game doesn't give you the option to pick that, and people have to mod it in later. It really looked like two bears high-fiving. You should have caught that in development. They did reference it in one of the DLCs, I guess. As it became a meme. I don't know if they get any credit for that, though. This is talking about Fallout New Vegas, by the way. Just sort of, it's funny to just sort of imagine someone who has no context for what's happening right now showing up suddenly and seeing what I'm doing and being confused. I can't imagine it makes sense at a glance. But maybe they're just like, oh, abstract art, cool. Or, oh, abstract art, weird. Both can be true. my layers have become a maze for me as well. Which seems fitting in some way. Let's consolidate all of this. Blood is being consolidated again. I may have to shrink this down a little bit too, to fit everything. And that's fine. Should save this as well. I'm glad you like what's going on here. It's certainly an interesting experiment. What did I added a wrong kind of layer, I think. trying a new strategy for drawing some of the lines first as an anchor point, perhaps. Or drawing all of the lines first, maybe. Which is also interesting as a thing to observe, probably. Now that I'm drawing more of this, it definitely begins to look more like an eldritch horror than it did a second ago. I think. No, stop. Comma, parentheses, positive. Alright then. This now exists. Guess I'm doing a color at a time now or something. Oh, I have to take another break now. Allegedly. But this did take more increments of break time than I thought it would, I guess. I'm also clearly not doing that at the moment. So... whatever. I'll just pretend I did. I feel like blood is accidentally missing some vertical height, so I might have to figure out a way to add to that. Or just vertically stretch blood in a program where that's possible to do, which is not this one. Do not vertically stretch your blood without consulting a professional. I'm not responsible for any injury related to the vertical stretching of blood. Yeah, the normal here meaning like the type of layer that it is, but yeah, that is pretty funny. Now that you mention it. Oh, huh. That's fun as a detail. I didn't know they were doing that. Makes a lot of sense, honestly. Oh, you're... Okay, it's not... That's alright, that's alright. No worries. It's easy to mix things up in this world. You know, we don't really need Sucro to be here anymore, honestly. I mean, in the context of this very specific thing, Sucro should always be around otherwise. When Sucro isn't on screen, you should be asking where's Sucro, etc. She is on screen though, actually, so... Sucro doesn't need to be hiding under layers of blood anymore, is what I'm saying. Which is a normal statement to make. Now that there's like an actual like eye-shaped part of this does look like body horror is happening in like some sort of way. Kind of. But like hopefully in a way that's not actively upsetting to look at. Well, that's blood. Hold on. Man, I need to remember something. So, hold on. I need to remember a few things. Yeah, there we go. First of all, let me open a browser. Let me preemptively lower the browser volume. Let me attempt to do a search. And try to remember what I'm looking for. Not that one. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yes, this is correct. Welcome to Yume Nikki. This is now Yume Nikki. This is a joke for like 3 people, myself included. Alright, joke's over now. You see, in Yume Nikki, there's a bit where there's like a girl, and if you turn into a traffic light, she becomes like, she like grows extra arms and looks mangled, and then spins around the screen while there's a funny beat playing. And people speculate that this is related to a traffic accident. That's it. That's the bit. It's a good bit. Question mark? Alright, so, now the finalization process. Yume Nikki is a fascinating video game. Hold on. Dang it, I saved it in the wrong place again. This is what I get for, quasi-organizing my images. Alright, let me see if I can stretch blood vertically. Don't try this at home. Yeah, I think that works out. I did, but I'm allowed to do it. Because I made the blood. That's how it works. Well, I've certainly constructed something. This much is clear. So, here's regular blood. And there's memcake blood, now slightly stretched. Ah, I'm missing a part. Ah, frick. There's like a bit over here. Well, okay, that bit's kind of there. Actually, no, that is the bit that's supposed to be. Okay, it's fine. I'm not missing a part. Here's blood. Now that it's now that you can see that there's like an eye looking thing or two, and like this thing incidentally looks like a mouth over here. We can all agree that this is blood. Yeah, exactly. Now, this is now every character. Well, hold on. This is now every character that is on the BRB screen at present. If we include like one of the Saren ones. And Calico doesn't have a memcake because she's just there normally. So this is now everybody. Everyone is here. I don't know which Saren to use. Thank you for petting Calico. I'll put you over here for a second. In fact, while we're here, let's just line up all 3 Sarens and get some opinions. To put them in the right order. All right. You like having the 3 of them? Hmm. I guess that's fair. But I want to like save space mostly. I wonder. Gun is definitely the primary one. I do think I like the poem I wrote for that one the most. I could set up a slideshow that rotates between them if I really wanted to. I'll put the Gun Saren poem on the screen too, why not? Since I actually made little images for these. This is an accurate representation of my experience attempting to use a sniper. Let me mess around a little bit. Some stuff will now be occurring which you cannot see. So this might take a little bit. And I don't think that's doable. So how badly do we need Craftly to continue flying by in the background? Or does Craftly just get to join a lineup? How badly do we need Blood to remain hidden in the corner? These are questions that I have. Because, like, the images are, of course, a lot smaller than the original ones. Yeah, that's fair. All right. This will clean up one of the scenes that I have going on here, too. All right. What do you mean later Craftly can continue bouncing around? You mean the old one? Because I already pressed some buttons that make that go away. It's fine. Well, I guess they're not completely gone. All right. Time to start doing stuff. Actually, what I could do, if I go over here and then go into studio mode, you can see me live editing this image, this page. The crew is being reassembled now that they all exist. Let's see how this works out. I mean, they're gonna be like in the same order that they are on the other screen, but still. This almost makes it seem like Vi is supposed to be here, though. So maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Sneaky. I don't know if this part of the stream is particularly interesting. This is sort of a culmination of the work, if you will. Jackie gets to be here normally. She was only sort of peeking in before. This is sort of what I was making these for in the first place, too, so I wanted to be able to fit more stuff in. You, though, you go over here, still. Resume your station. Thank you for petting Calico. And you're also over here. You're a little bit cut off, but I think that's fine. This is where Ghost was before, so she gets to stay there. And maybe Craftly is poking out over somewhere. Yeah. Oh, right, there was a timer going. Thank you for petting Calico, everyone. She does, in fact, deserve it. And lastly and maybe leastly, blood just goes here, I think. I think blood stays in this corner. And so that means we have a lot more space going on. So we can distribute as more are unlocked, if you will. So you can like slide over there. You can slide over here. This makes it look like Jackie's going to murder Mystery in a corner, but that's fine, I guess. Yeah. Now we have more space to put stuff. How do we feel about this? It looks empty now, though, is the thing, I guess, but... well... just means I gotta fill it with more stuff. On that note, are there any particularly notable characters from various streams that you would like to see? Like, I feel like my Warframe character has to be included. So she's probably next on the list. Like, she's literally next on the list, but I have to, like, actually get a better reference photo because she looks different than she did last you've seen her. In fact, maybe I'll boot up Warframe and just mess around a little bit for like an extra bonus hour. I don't remember what Beffy's outfit looked like in the end, to be honest. Beffy was not about the outfit. Beffy was about, well, the chaos surrounding her. I'd have to go like double check what Beffy actually looked like in the end. On one hand, this screen looks cleaner. On the other hand, it looks emptier. Corn. Just like a mem cake of corn. Like the concept of corn is what you're saying. Blood actually does kind of look cute at this scale. Like I just now scaled up. Right, Madeline the Wasp was also in consideration, the Elden Ring character. I'd have to go double check what she looked like as well. Corn. Well, I can now clean up this scene with its like 15 images. Maybe Elka, but I haven't streamed that much of Fields of Mystria. An important person to the stream who definitely needs to be present. Who's that? Are you gonna say I should make a mem cake of myself or Calico? Because those don't exist yet, technically. Are you gonna say that I should make a mem cake of your Final Fantasy XIV character who keeps showing up in streams, Ayato? Because that could also be something. Technically, Ayato is a commonly recurring stream character, after all. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't put Saren in this scene. I didn't do the thing that I said I would do. She's missing. Let me see if I can remember how the slideshows work. Right, you just add image files. Giant Saren! Ha! Why is she huge? Stop that. Why are you large?
Stream Team versus Giant Saren.
Yeah. Wait, can I do this? Is that legal? There we go, I think. So I could have a slideshow swapping between all of them like this. And change the amount of... I can change the amount of time between slides as well. Like, say... I could make it 3 times as long. I can change the transition speed as also. I could make the time between slides 8888 milliseconds and the transition speed 888 milliseconds. Because, you know, Splatoon. Do we think it's better to have this little slideshow of Saren here? That is the current settings for the speed. Is this the correct placement for Saren? Probably. They can be shuffled around as the need arises. But yeah, there's a lot of room for people here now. Hooray, I'm satisfied with my work. Aha, and our last spirit is here. Are you ready to see the last spirit that is currently in this video game? It's a fox. And I love them. And they're also mystery colored by default. This is Twin Tail. The coat begins to change color on the days leading up to the change of the season. That's cute. Surprisingly light and nimble. Demure and mindful, they love to cuddle up with others during chilly nights. And that's all the spirits that are currently in the game. And I love them all, dearly. I keep hitting decor instead of wardrobe. Retreat. So, you're available in blue, pink, yellow and green, brown, and Tails Sonic the Hedgehog colors. I said that before I noticed the color of your feet here. Like, this is directly Tails Sonic the Hedgehog, I think. This is absolutely Miles Tails per hour. I think this is one where I might keep the default because this is like mystery. -1 tail and the human shape. But the other ones are good too. But yeah, like winter, spring, summer, fall, Sonic. Now I have to see if they have any animations. Smiling, smiling. They do meditate. You can sort of see it. Snoozing. Oh, they get their own little... Oh, they're sleeping on one of their tails as a pillow. That's incredible. I love them. They do not gaming. Perhaps this is for the best. But yeah, this has been, well, 3 hours of art stream where I got most of the to-do list done so far. Only Spark is left. So before I wrap up, I will pop open Warframe for a second and just like show you what Spark looks like now. And I'll probably draw her like on my own time or something. And I will resume Warframe at some point. So yeah, I guess I can put on my little habit tracker that I definitely did. Oh, I already have that marked. I did stream. I did do this. I did do that. Hooray, I did things. And I will exit the game here. So we'll go over here. Close this. Close this. Minus this. Minimize, as they say. Right, the today's game thing isn't like a real image right now. Spoilers. Just pretend that it is. It's just a frame, a window frame right now. I will launch Warframe. Just a little bit of Warframe at the end to round things out. I still have text on my other version of the main scene that says perceive them. Oh, thank you for the resource booster. Trapezoids. We'll get to this in a second. I will just remove the text. And I could also just, now that I have all of these mem cakes, I could just put like a relevant one on the corner of the screen and stuff too. So that's fun. Warframe. Ta-da! This is also what Yoreli looks like now for me. So that's different. Let me just catch you up on the Warframe shenanigans. I like this look. I feel like these weird little, like, infested parts sort of add to the fishiness of Yoreli. I'm actually going to do a weird thing and take this Oxium here instead. Also, my entire color scheme is shifted. Also, I have an emblem now. This is the emblem I drew for my clan. For Wowframe. Also, Yoreli has the Hildren idle animation because I thought it was funny. And I still think it's funny, actually. Let me give you a better look at the emblem while we're here. So, here's the emblem I drew. This is meant to be based on a Warframe cat version of, like, this reaction image. And also it says WoW in, like, a Warframe font above it, or something close to it. Basically, I'm silly. So yeah. I have unread messages. Huh? Is the Void Trader here again or something? Oh. Oh, everyone gets fun presents for Christmas. Nice. Neat, cool. So yeah, my entire color scheme is shifted. I don't have inventory spots, but I do now, so it's fine. So at this point, I think here's the cat in question. At this point, I think my favorite frames are we've got Urelli, we've got Wisp. Wisp is good for some scenarios, and we've also got, where is she? Protea. Now, Protea doesn't look anything like Protea at this point because of the customization options I have used. But she does look kind of cool, I think. But Urelli is particularly funny because she's so good at secondaries, and I now have the Epitaph Prime, which is a stupid gun. So I've been using Urelli mostly, lately anyway. Is the volume of this game up to the correct level? Or do I have it even lower? It's too low. There we go. I think my room is mostly the same. Oh yeah, there's this... I have a lot of plushies. Yeah, there is a, Zevigoth Prime. I don't quite have them yet. Urelli's over here too. Spark, though. Spark also has this color scheme now. Hello, Spark. So this is what she looks like these days. Not like super different, but her color scheme is shifted. And I do like the way I've combined a variety of like facial accessories. They look like they're all sort of connected to each other. Like her earpiece like pokes into this elaborate mandible mask, they're calling it, which in turn connects to the eyepiece. Also, she's got a little bit of the 1999 outfit going on a little bit. Because it's kind of funny to just have like regular clothing. But I've combined it in this case with the Thrifter vest. So this is what the Spark mem cake would be based on. I think this is just what Spark looks like at this time. So I'll figure that out at some point. If there are any cutscenes that have the Drifter and Operator in them again, her Operator form still looks the same, so it'll be a greater contrast. But yeah, I like how she's ended up. Yeah. Also, there's this bird here. Oh, and there's this guy, I guess.
Small minds die in cells. Great minds do their finest work.
All right, man. I don't know what your deal is. Also, I have yet to actually do anything with regard to large eidolons, so the only customizable amp that I have is the Sirocco. Which is probably fine. That's probably good enough. So at some point in the future, I'm going to play more warframe on stream. Oh, I have this too. I have a funny Roomba. I really need to progress the quest further because like I'm still at the same point quest wise and I need to unlock a whole lot of stuff. I've still got to do Veilbreaker. I'm gonna do this on my own time at some point. And I still have to do all of this. And then 1999 exists now as well. So yeah. Also, this background I have set right now works pretty well for Warframe, actually. I'm not going to do this right now. I just wanted to, like... Oh yeah, also this happened. We've seen this a little bit, but here's why. Because you're prompted to name the helmet device for some reason. I hate it. Plays with the cat, though. Yeah, I don't love it. Sorry. Just to round out the stream, I'll do a little something gameplay-wise, maybe. Oh hey, even though there's not really any reason for me to do this right now, it does have my favorite warframes in it. What do you mean Vesper 77? I've already done this, but I'll do a little bit of this. This is just our little bonus bit at the end of the stream. I should change the tag. This is not Spirit City. I just want to show you that I've also actually used the helmet to change the ability on, like, Ureli. Ureli and Protea and Wisp are the warframes I'm most likely to use in story missions going forward at this time. I think that's a pretty good top 3, honestly. And hey, look, most of them are here. Ugh. But yeah. This is not normally what her 4th ability is. This is Tempest Barrage. So... Oh hey, that's probably good. And I guess I can look at her abilities too for the Warframe knowers. So we have Viral Tempest and Loyal Marilina. We've got Brief Respite. Bunch of ability strength, energy maximum, and ability duration stuff, and so on. I don't have good arcanes yet. Operation Toxic Fury. That's pretty good. This Ureli build is like somewhat based on advice that I found online, but also just like what I had available and what seemed fun. So. What's this dang thing again? Oh, well, I'm not going to use it anyway. Oh, hey, we get to see one of the 1999 guns, I guess. It's a gun. It has a laser sight. What is this? Highlights enemy weak points. Aim to increase its critical damage multiplier. Yeah, alright. Something about Ureli with, like, an extremely regular, like, gun is kind of funny. Something about any Warframe with this is probably kind of funny. I don't really need anything but my secondary. Not really. It's like the token human actor in a Muppets movie. That's a funny way to compare a gun to something.
The challenges of the Undercroft mirror the many battles of the Tenno. Prove you are the equal of their fighting.
Also, I'm still getting used to, like, I changed my controls a little bit because I had to, like, turn off the Steam thing for use this Nintendo layout for Mystria, and I decided to not even bother trying to, like, do that on a per game basis or figuring anything out. But yeah, Ureli is pretty effective at this point, I think. Protea and Wisp are really useful for things where I have to, like, defend specific kinds of objectives. Because Protea can just give everything shields, and Wisp can just give everything health regen. So depending on the objective, or what's going on. Wisp is also quite funny because, like, once I get better weapons in general, Wisp will be, like, a pretty good weapons user because she just buffs herself ridiculously. Like, the Epitaph is pretty good for that already, but that is one where you have to mash. So as far as things to do on stream go, I guess I should also ask while I'm here. Things I'm in the middle of, there's this, Final Fantasy XIV, Fields of Mystria, and Monster Rancher 2 at this point. And I'm curious what the people present are most interested in seeing out of those. I will say that... Oh, hey, boy. What a out of those, the most difficult thing for me to actually stream is probably Final Fantasy XIV. Due to my commitment to reading all of the dialogue. I will be, like, reeling back the voice acting to be less strenuous, probably. And then this is probably the second most difficult, but I can't really articulate why exactly. And then Mystria and Monster Rancher are both relatively chill.
World above, it is my duty to make extraordinary demands of exceptional people.
But I think those are, like, the main things, because I'm interested in streaming all of those. So I'm interested in knowing which ones of those that you all would like to see. Yeah, you do have to kind of be like that, but also, like, I don't expect the game to have too much difficulty in, like, the parts that I'm playing. Like, right now, I am playing the game, but I'm not, like, struggling or anything. I didn't know you could shoot the Jade light for a long time. Hey, this gun seems alright. Yeah, I think this gun seems probably pretty alright. I mean, I do also have to account for the fact that I am Ureli. Mystria's been fun. Alright. Maybe I'll prioritize Mystria and Monster Rancher a bit, just because those are, like, easier for me. I gotta, like, make sure to not overtax myself, I guess. If I can find more things to draw, I'd also love to do more art streams. People seem to like those, and those are relaxing and productive at the same time somehow. So I guess based on the responses that you two have given, Dystria seems to be probably something I should prioritize first. Maybe.
Only 60 seconds remain.
I think it's confusing how Teshin says only 60 seconds remain when the time left clearly says there's more than that. But it's because he's referring to how long your life support is going to last. But I don't think that's like super clear. I think they could have like made that more obvious somehow. There's also, oh right, there's also Pokemon Ultra Sun Randomizer, which I started and did one stream of. I could also do more of that. Something that's like in the back of my mind as another possibility is what I would call, I am once again trying to get into Elder Scrolls Online. It's a periodic thing where like I have the game and I'm constantly thinking like, there's so much video game here. If I only enjoyed it, I could have so much video game to play. But then Elder Scrolls goes and reminds me that it's a miserable world full of miserable people. But like, maybe I can find a way to enjoy it. Maybe streaming it. I don't know. I don't know if anyone would be interested. It's just something I think about on occasion. The thing about video games is that there's a lot of video games. I just did 115,000 damage. That's pretty good. I've done like 1 point something million damage with the epitaph in certain situations, and I don't even have some of the sillier mods yet. It's kind of funny. I think I just saw 94,000. But yeah, like in the long run, in the long term, I should probably just stream whatever I feel like streaming at any given moment. But I am always curious what people are interested in seeing that might influence my decision. But I think overall, the audience that I have is most interested in seeing whatever I want to do, is the impression that I've gotten, which I appreciate. So, I'm gonna pet the cat. Petting the cat will never function correctly, ever. Not even once. I think this is accurate to trying to pet a cat in reality. I think they just sort of teleport over and like they'd sort of like teleport around and break the realm, you know, probably. That seems like a cat thing to do. Well, that's almost right. I don't know why, for me specifically, petting a creature on my ship is so broken. But I guess I'll just accept it. There she goes. Where's she going? What are you doing, Wanda? Fair enough. You know, it hadn't occurred to me. But like, cats famously will scratch on the door to be let in, and then scratch on the door to be let out, and so on. But all of the doors on the ship are automatic and respond to the presence of a living creature, including the cat. Therefore, the cat cannot do one of its classic behaviors. How does the cat feel about this, I wonder? Well, anyway. That was just a little bit of extra warframe tacked onto the end there. This was mostly an art stream. And now you can see all of the fancy art that I made in the last week or so, plus whenever I made Sucro, on the screen now. Hooray! I'm glad that you were... wait, hold on. What was my outro again? Thank you all for watching. There we go. I hope you all enjoyed the art and stuff. And I hope to see you all again on the next stream, whenever and whatever that may be. I'm bothered by this blank, empty frame here. I'm going to fix this. I didn't save the game of the day image that I had for, like, I don't know what the game of the day is. I guess it's this one for right now. Anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again on the next stream. Have a good rest of your day and or night. And good night, everyone. Bye. Good night.